Good morning, this is Nicole, the Fields of Grace, and today I am doing a fun project. This is something that my daughter and I really enjoy doing together, and we are going to do some homemade goat's milk soaps. So if you're new, welcome. Here on my channel, you're going to find a whole lot of budgeting videos, meal planning and grocery hauls for busy families on a budget, some organizational projects, lots of gardening and flower related things. But today I'm sharing with you one of the things that my daughter and I really enjoy doing together. So we do homemade goat's milk soaps. She is only 9. We've been doing them for a few years. And so for simplicity's sake, and for just keeping things easy and safe for her, what I do for my homemade goat milk soaps is I do it the simple way, and I use melt and pour milk, goat's milk soap base. I use them from the St. Tara company, and also from Our Earth's Secrets is where I get my goat's milk melt and pour soap base from. They come in a 2-pound brick pack. And a 2-pound brick pack will fill up one of these nice soap loaf molds nicely. You can fit 3 pounds of soap in here, but I usually do 2 to 2.5. So normally we do these around the holidays. So we do like holiday scented ones. And then we also do like dinosaur and trucks and mermaids and what is the other one? Mermaid and unicorns, little gift soap bags for kids, which are huge. They do really, really well for us here locally. And then we'll sell them in like pop-up shops. Sometimes I put them up on my Fields of Grace Etsy shop. And then this summer, we are going to try selling them at our local farmers markets, along with some of the vegetables from our garden and some cut flower bouquets. So we are making some spring batches today. I'm doing this without my daughter. Don't tell her. I have some stuff for her to make some of the kid batches at a later time. But today I'm going to do 3 batches of some spring scented scents that we have. I use Nature's Oil. I use all natural ingredients, you guys, with my soap making. It kind of depends on what kind of soap I'm making. I use different ingredients. But for today, I'm just going to use the goat's milk soap base. Natural scented oils. I'm going to use a bit of coconut oil, which is really, really good for your skin. And then I have all natural pigments, coloring to color up them and make them really pretty. So it's really pretty simple how to make your goat's milk soaps this way. There is a more complicated way where you use like fresh or frozen fresh goat's milk. I'm not going to go that route right now. I just try to keep it super simple. We use these soaps in our own bathrooms and showers. They lather really, really nicely, and they last quite a while. So I really have enjoyed making and using our own natural soaps. They're much better for your skin. Today, the 3 batches that I'm going to do a honeysuckle, and I'm going to do it in a soft, creamy pink color. It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to move the camera here in a minute so you can see my process of making the soaps. And then I'm going to do a lavender water, and this is like a softer lavender scent, which I really enjoy. I'm not a big fan of like lilac and lavender, but it is spring and everything's starting to bloom and blossom, and so I want to use a lavender scent. Lavender water is a lighter one, and it's very, very pretty smell. And then I have some solid purple and some pearl violet. I'm going to give it a little bit of a shimmer. And then I'm going to do, this is also one of my favorites, pink salt and water lily scent. And I'm going to do that one in a green pearl and a, what do we got here? It's called berry, but it's also a very light pink color. And so I do the green on the bottom and the pink on top for pink salt and water lily. A little bit of pink salt and a little bit of green for the lilies. And then what else do we need? So to make your soap, so that's what you need to make the soaps. You're going to need a mixing bowl, a mixing bucket that's microwavable safe. You can use like a heating pan and heat it up and go a little bit like slower method, but I like to do it quick and keep it simple. And so I just have a good old sturdy, I call it like a flower tub. I have some mixing beakers These are also microwavable safe. Your goat's milk soap base is going to get pretty hot and pretty warm. Again, so when you're doing this with kids, you want to use some extra caution. My daughter knows how to do it safely, so she's gotten pretty good at it. I always have two because sometimes I will be making two separate colors, which is what I'm going to do with the pink salt water lily one. I have my little hand mixer here. I have a spatula. I have a towel on hand that can get messy. I've got my soap loaf molds. I've got 3 of those. I do enjoy doing some nice soft oval shaped soaps. So I'm going to see if I have any batter left, and then I will we'll make a couple of round ones as well. And then also I have a little spray bottle, you guys, and what's inside here is the super strong alcohol. Let me grab mine quick. This one is the 91% alcohol, rubbing alcohol. You need to be very careful with this. Obviously, this looks just like water. So again, if you're having kids help you, you want to make sure that they're using extra caution, not spraying anything in the eyes. So what you're going to do with the spray is 2 things. You're going to use the spray and spray inside your mold. And then after you have poured your soap into the mold and you're about to let it set, you spray this on the top again. I'll show you later. It helps get the air bubbles out, which is really nice. So you got your rubbing alcohol on hand. That's kind of really all that you need. So I'm going to change my camera setup, guys, and we're going to get started, okay? All right, so I have unwrapped 2 1-pound bricks of soap melt base. And I've got a good sharp knife here, thick one. Again, this is not a set stage that I would let my daughter do. I do this part for her when she makes her batches of soaps. And what I'm doing is I'm just cutting them up into smaller chunks, which makes it a lot easier and quicker for them to melt. All right, so I've cut up one of the blocks, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the second block cut up as well. This is another reason why I have 2 beakers, so that one can go right in the microwave, and then the other one can go follow up right after it. Depending on the size of your microwave, you might be able to put both in there at the same time. You can also add things like shea butter into your soaps or instead of coconut oil. You could do, like when I do my oatmeal milk and honey scent, I have some really finely ground oatmeal that's also really nice for winter skin that I will put into the soap batch. That helps your skin stay nice and soft and moisturized. That's another reason why I like the coconut oil. It just blends very well, but it's also so good for moisturizing the skin. All right, so I have both of my beakers ready to go. I'm gonna go melt these in the microwave, and then we're gonna mix everything together in the big bucket. All right, you guys, so I have stuff melting in the microwave, and I just wanna show you some of our soap molds. So we do snowflakes for Christmas and winter time. And then we have like mermaid tails and unicorns for little girl sets. I have dinosaurs that are really fun for little boys, even big boys. My 11-year-old son, don't tell his friends, still kind of likes to use these sometimes. And then I have a Trucks one that I have to dig out. And then I have like general squares, and I have general ovals and little regular circles. They have like all sorts of soap molds that you can use. Makes your soaps a lot more fun. All right, so now I am working on my second set of goat's milk soap. I am going to do the pink salt and water lily one. It's going to have a pink pigment color on the bottom half, and that is for the pink salt water. And then I am going to do a pretty soft green for the top half for the water lily. It's one of my favorite soaps that I make. I do sometimes do, like after it's almost dried, not quite, but almost dried, we'll take a little bit of a shimmery pigment color, like a silvery color, and kind of sprinkle along the top of my soap when it's in the mold. And it gives it kind of a shimmer on the top, which is kind of nice sometimes. The pink salt water lily scent is just one of my favorites. It's a very feminine and soft scent. It's not a super strong one. It's kind of a faint one. You kind of just get a little bit of a hint and whiff of, and I absolutely love it. It's like a very relaxing kind of scent. Now, I don't rinse out my little beakers in between the batches because it's plain soap in there. There's no scents or anything happening in there. My big bucket, I do rinse out with some nice hot water to get the scent out and the coloring out of the bucket. And if you are going to make multiple batches of soaps at once with more than one scent, I always start out with my lightest strength scent and then work my way up to the strongest scent. So my lilac one I'm doing today, or my lavender water one is the strongest one that I'm doing. So I'm going to save that one for last. I don't know about you all, but I absolutely love flowers, and I love nature, and I love candles and soaps, anything that smells good and pretty. I'm one of those people where I will walk into a Bath and Body Works store and it feels heavenly to me. It's like a symphony of scents. Whereas like my husband walks in and he can't stand it for more than 2 seconds because it's too much. It's overwhelming for him. But my nose can like differentiate and pick out the different scents. And so I love things that smell good. I love things that are pretty. I feel like when you're a mom who's always on the go, you do workouts and you're out in the garden getting dirty and you're hot and you're sweaty in the summer with doing kids stuff, that just having 5 minutes of like peace and quiet as a busy mom in the shower is just, it recharges you and revitalizes you. And so when you have nice, fun, pretty, good smelling soaps to use, I feel like that just kind of makes it your few minutes of peace a little bit more heavenly. And so I kind of love to make soaps. I love to bless women with soaps because I just feel like it makes them feel a little bit better about themselves and about their day and gives them a few minutes to relax in an extra special way. So I'm going to go melt these guys down and then we will make pink salt and water lily. All right, you guys, so this is a 2-color based soap. I'm going to have one color on top and one color on bottom. So what I have done is I have got half of my melted soap milk base in my big bucket. I'm adding some scent to this one. Gosh, it smells so good. And I'm going to go ahead and add my bottom color. This one is a berry and powder pink. So I got two. One's kind of more shimmery and one's a darker pink. So we're just going to add that in there. Good. A little bit of the other one for some shimmer. Come on. Let's get in there a little bit of that. I'm going to use half my coconut oil, not all of it. It's about a tablespoon. We're going to go ahead and mix here. Alright, that is good and mixed. So I'm going to pour this into, I've already sprayed my soap mold with the rubbing alcohol. So I'm going to go ahead and pour in the bottom half, the first color, which is pink. I'll pour it in there nicely. And then I'm going to go ahead and spray it, guys. Go ahead and spray, get the air bubbles out before you add your second layer in. And then I'm going to go grab my second color. We're going to let that start sitting, okay? All right, so we got the second half of this 2 pounds of goat's milk soap base. Pour her in there. Get her in there good. A couple small clumps. It's okay. It actually ends up still melting and mixing just fine. Doing this the simple way, nothing fancy. I'm going to go ahead and add in my scent. A few shakes there. Kind of depends on your bottle, how fast it comes out. I say about 15 drops or so is probably pretty good. Depends how strong you want it to smell again. It doesn't take a whole lot to make it smell just right. I'm going to add, this one's a green pearl dry pigment. It's kind of shiny green there. Really pretty soft color. Pour that in there. Give her a mix up. That is a gorgeous green color. Stop dripping. And then we're going to do this very carefully. Now, some people will wait until the bottom has completely set. And some people like to do it like they use like little squeezer things so it comes out much more gently. I find that just going very slowly and carefully when I pour makes a really pretty pattern along the middle of your bars of your loaf of soap, and it makes it very unique. So you'll never have 2 bars of soap the same, which I like because I'll let you be a little bit crafty and creative. And I'm actually pouring just along one side. Very carefully, very slowly. Now, if I wanted this color to stay completely on the top, I would wait until the bottom color has like completely set. But I kind of like mine to blend and mix a little bit. I think it just makes it really pretty. So we're just kind of carefully pouring that in there. Nice and slow on that one. And I'm going to go ahead and spray. Get them air bubbles out. Oh yeah, lots of air bubbles coming to the top. And this actually evaporates, guys, so it's not going to do anything to your soap. Aside from get those air bubbles out. There we go. I'm just kind of brushing the top line there with my finger. I had 2 big air bubbles that weren't coming out. So she is going to set. I'm going to scoot her over here. It's already a really pretty blend of pink and green on top. I will show you here when we get all 3 loaves ready to roll. Now I'm going to get started on my third one, which is going to be lavender water. So let's get going on that one. All right, you guys, I got my melted goat's milk soap base. For my third set of soap, I'm going to go ahead and pour. I need to do a little bit more melting. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick this all in the one. Then I'll work on mixing here the other stuff up. Get that back. And so I got my coconut oil going in. You don't have to add coconut oil or shea butter. It's just an option. It just adds that extra moisture to your skin. I'm going to go ahead and add the lavender water essential oil. This is a really pretty scent. It's all right to get your nose in there. See how strong it is. A little bit more. There we go. I am going to use a solid purple and a pearl violet colors. I don't want this to be super dark, so I'm going to add just a little bit to start with. That's already just right, I think. Let that sit for a second. Grab the rest of our soap. pour that on in. Okay. And then get this up here. I feel like my camera has shifted. My little camera stand is being finicky today. All right, so I've already sprayed the rubbing alcohol into my mold. I'm gonna go ahead and just pour her in. This is a very pretty light purple color. Very springy. These are gonna go super fast at our farmers markets. I did a yard sale not that long ago and I stuck out what was left of the soap batches from before, and I like sold out of all of it, and that was awesome. And I was like, oh, we need to make some more soaps now. So I got that one sprayed. There weren't very many air bubbles in that one, and I'm going to grab my camera and I'm going to give you an overview here so you can see the tops of the soap lobes, and then I'm going to let these sit for probably a solid day. And then I will take them out and remove the mold, little silicone molds. And then they will sit again for quite a while. Depends. Some people like to let them set for several weeks. Some people like to do it after like 8 to 12 hours. Kind of depends on your soap, kind of depends on the moisture and temperature of your home or the room that you're making them in and going to store them in. You want to store them in a cool, dry place. And then we will, when I'm ready to cut them, you guys, I will come back and add that at the end of the video, okay? So you can see what they look like. So to wash up all of your soap making dishes, you can just put them in a nice hot sink full of soap, regular kitchen soap water, your dish soap, and then a sponge, and it will all come out pretty quickly and easily. So I'm gonna let those soak for just a little bit, and let me go show you all of our soap batches. All right, so here we go. We have our 3 soap loaves sitting in their mold. Gonna get them hard. I will probably come back tomorrow and remove them from the molds themselves, and then we gotta let them set and dry and harden before we cut them. So this one, pink one here, is the honeysuckle, and then the pink and green. Again, you can see the little pretty blend of the green and the pink. This is the pink salt and water lily. And then this pretty soft springy purple is the lavender water. So got 3 spring soap batches made. Super excited. These are going to sell fast. One of the things that I wanted to point out, so this is with 2 pounds of the melt and pour base into the mold. So if I did a 3rd block, it would fill up the mold pretty well. So as far as cutting, I will come back and share with you how I cut my molds, like how big I cut them, how thick. Kind of depends on whether or not I filled up my loaf mold to the top or if I've just done the 2 pounds like I have here today. And we'll share more with you all on that later. All right, so our soap loaves have sat for several days. So I'm going to take them out of the loaf molds. And then we will see about cutting them. Okay, so let's see. Just kind of lift. I love these molds. It's super easy. You just lift them out, and then you can kind of just peel back. Now be a little careful with the corners, but you just peel it on back like so. This was the lavender water scent one. And then you just easily flip these back in. You can wash them gently with some warm soapy water, let them dry, and then they're ready to use again, which is nice. It's super easy to clean those out. And then this is the loaf of soap. Go ahead and remove the other 2. This is the pink, let's see. I'm going to say it wrong. It is the Lily Saltwater. Is it the Water Lily and Pink Salt? There we go. I don't know why my brain was trying to twist that around. But a little bit hard to see in the shadows today. It's kind of cloudy and that makes my house darker. But there is, I'll change the camera angle on this one here in a minute. You can see the beautiful shades of green and pink in there. I can't wait to cut that one and see what it looks like. Yes, Pink Salt and Water Lily. Did I say that wrong the first time? That one just gets me. I have to think about it every time. That is by far, though, my favorite scent alongside the honeysuckle, which is what this third soap loaf is that I made. I love these two scents. They're light, they're sweet, they remind me of spring. So I'm just going to pull him right out. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Love it. Oh, it smells so good. Put this guy back around. Put her back in her mold. So then we have our 3 soap loaves. And yeah, you can kind of see the change in colors there. So we're going to go ahead and try to cut these. And guys, I am simple and I am cheap and I do things in the most simple way possible. And so what I have is, I have used this over and over, and it's literally, I have sketched out the outside of a loaf of soap, and then I used a nice ruler and I marked down 1-inch squares. And then you just line them up onto your paper there with the mold. Make sure you get her in there good. You don't want it to be crooked. And then I use a pizza cutter. Let's see if we can get this in here. And then you cut along the lines. And I tend to kind of literally put my eyeballs right on top, over top, to kind of get a good look. And then you can just press down. And it makes a nice square block of soap. So then I'm going to set these on. I have a nice little board here. And I will set them on the board. And then we're going to just go ahead and cut these. And it's important also, if you're going to do it this way, to just kind of double check. Make sure you're all lined up there, because you want to have nice, relatively consistent size and squares of soap. And you can make them as thin or as thick as you want. I feel like the 1 inch is just right. It's a good lady's hand size. If you're going to lay it out in your palm, that's a real nice size bar of soap. This loaf has been made with 2 pounds of the Melt and Pour goat's milk soap. And if you make it with the 3 pounds, your soaps will be a little bit taller. Your blocks will be taller. Ooh, he's moving on me. Gotta be careful. I think the bottom of it is kind of slick. I'm going to go ahead and keep cutting up the soaps, and then I will show you what they look like when they are all done. All right, so I'm cutting the the salt water, the Water Lily Pink Salt ones. I keep messing the name up of it, but you can see the beautiful coloring in these pieces. Pink and green swirls. There's the end one. And every little piece is a little bit different. Some have more green, some have more pink. So they're really, really beautiful. I'm going to finish cutting this one up here. And then I will show you how I lay them out on cute little display boards for selling them. It works great for taking pictures for like your Etsy shop, or also for like selling them at like farmers markets and pop-up vendor markets. There's some more of the coloring. Almost done. And your soap pieces do not have to be perfect. I know some people will do like the little wire. They have these fancy wire stands and it all comes down and cuts them all at once. But you don't have to do fancy, guys. Every little piece being a little bit different and unique is kind of all about the creativity and the craftiness of it. And then usually you'll end up with an end piece, just a little thin piece. And I like to bunch these up together, and I will either bundle them up with twine or put them in a little bag and sell the end pieces as a sampler so people can try the different scents and get a little variety. Let me grab my camera here. Okay, so this is what it looks like when they're all cut and they're all done. I have this nice little display board. Sometimes I will block them up like so, and then stack a few in the front. And then you can do a handful of different scents and colors. And then I also have this lovely little tray. This worked really well for some of the pop-up markets and stuff that I did. And then you could have like 4 different rows, 4 different kinds. These work really nice as well, these little baskets. And so here, the lighting here from this angle is a little bit better. See the colors there in the pink. My goodness, why can I not say that one today? Pink salt and water lily, there we go. See, like this one's almost all pink. Every little piece is different. This one's got some swirls going on in it. So that, you guys, is how I make some small batches of soap. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of a how to do it on your own if you choose to try making some of your own homemade soaps. I love it that you can make each and every batch so unique and different from all the others. Even if you do like 3 batches and they're all the same scent, you can change the colors. You could do all sorts of patterns on top. Sometimes I like to, when they're still in the molds, after I've just poured them into the molds and they're still drying, kind of drying, you can brush on different pigment powders that are sparkly and shiny and give them a shimmer. I've made some like rose scented ones, and I've used dried rose petals on the top, and that also looks really nice. So there's all sorts of things you can do in making your soaps to make them look really nice. I hope you guys have enjoyed this fun little video. It's a little different than the stuff I normally do, and I hope you'll leave your thoughts and comments below and like this video and give it a share. Thank you.